Welcome back to Meet the Authors. We're very delighted today to have with us Sandy Meyer. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Dr. Levin. How are you?
That's great. I met Sandy. We were at, I was at Pensacola at that little farmer's market they have on weekends, and he had his little booth selling his poetry books. I picked one up, started looking through, and I said, I want you on my show. And he agreed to come on over from Pensacola and has some wonderful books. So show us a book, and then we'll talk about it. Which book would you like to start with?
Well, we'll start with The Three Miracles. It's my Christmas book. It's very, very popular, and it has a kind of an interesting twist to it. The story starts out, you can see the illustrations here, but essentially it starts out, and it's the woods and the round is the world, kind of magical world that I write all my stories, and it hadn't snowed the whole year, and the animals thought it just wasn't going to happen. And finally, tons of snow blows in all the way up to the woodpecker's door, and at midnight, a voice yells out, "Look out below!" And this light slams into the forest. The animals are utterly terrified. You can see the little ones cowering over here. And then this stranger pops in, and out of the trees, he says, "Don't be afraid. The star fell, but it isn't going to hurt you."
This isn't as cute as anything.
Exactly. And then he goes, and then he throws up stardust, and the star responds because it knows him. That's how they talk. Then he goes, "Look, I have no idea why the star fell. I'm utterly lost without it on my mission tonight. But let me tell you where the star came from." And now he starts to tell the real Christmas story.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
And of course, there's a great twist and turns, and it's obviously all in rhyming verse, beautiful rhyming verse.
We're going to have you read some in a little bit.
I will do, in that. But it is it's bridged the connection between the traditions of Christmas that we've all come to love and know, and the real meaning of Christmas.
Yeah, and it's so beautiful and cute for any child to really identify and learn those lessons. And you were telling me that you started writing when your child was 2 years old.
Correct.
And he learned his parts. You wrote this first book, and he learned his parts so well that he was able to read his parts, read his poetry when it's his turn. And then your sister-in-law came to visit, and she wanted to illustrate. So it's a big family thing. Which was the first book?
That was The Strange Journey of Byron and Cyrus. Yes. And as you said, Doctor, my son and I acted it out. Just the word, we got the verse, and we acted it out. And it was actually my sister-in-law. She was watching us. She came to visit us because I was stationed in the military in Key West at the time. And she watched us.
That's a bad assignment, actually.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah.
tough duty. But she said, "I want to tell you two things. The story's unbelievable, and two, your son is remembering his lines because of the rhyming verse."
Yeah.
And so she did it. And
did the illustrations?
Illustrations took her about 2 years. But I was, active duty, traveling around. We went to our next assignment. And then then Sue Crumrye, who was a friend of mine, a teacher I met in Europe, and she loved the stories, and so she asked if she could do the activities sections at the back.
Yeah. That's always handy, yeah.
5 pages worth of really neat stuff that works to extend the story beyond the reading. And it's 50 pages. It's very long, beautiful illustrations. Monarch butterflies all surround them. They build a kite out of spider web. It's a wonderful, wonderful story.
Read something for us. Let's give us illustrations.
One of my favorite verses comes from Augie, the nearsighted snail. That's my latest. And Augie is made fun of because of his glasses.
So it's got a moral lesson to it.
Yeah, that's right. The book is really essentially, it's about judging people based on how they look, and bullying. And we all know how that, kids are trying to socialize, and kids can be pretty cruel. And so essentially the animals, again, in the woods and the round, sort of make fun of Augie. This begins with him crawling on the ground up to the little girl's sneakers, and then we get introduced to him. He's got a snail trail behind him.
Oh, that's so realistic. We all know those little slimy snail trails.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But I'll tell you what happens in a second. But anyway, so he has glasses, and they're cracked, and he's got a Band-Aid on his nose from bumping into rocks.
Those little personal things.
And
make
of course,
so
what
alive.
happens when he bumps into rocks, obviously the animals all laugh at him.
Yeah.
And so he's a constant joke. They mock him, but because he's comfortable in his own skin, he doesn't really bother about it. He's got round furniture that crashes, because obviously his shell is on his back. When he bumps, his furniture goes crashing.
That's his furniture in his snail. His
And
house
that's
is
right.
the shell.
In the
That
shell.
is so funny.
And so, but his friend Buster is there, and you know, he's trying to comfort him and tell him. But here's the interesting thing about Augie. He, as you mentioned, he has the snail trail behind him. But Buster asks him, he says, "What's that shiny line do that stretches forever behind me and you?" "Well, that's simple," answered Augie. "An end must begin. So to know where you're going, you must know where you've been."
Oh, I love that.
And
poem.
and the fact is that, you know, so many of my, every time you turn a page, there's another opportunity to have a discussion. I call my books the between the children and the adults. It's really a discussion vehicle. So they can talk about things and why are they mean and what does that mean? Well, in this case, Augie's a map maker. He's a cartographer. So to know where you're going, you must know where you've been is related to this grid on the ground. So
everybody has a purpose in life.
So he's like a GPS. He's almost like so he knows where he is, and that's really the setup for the story. A storm is coming. It's late afternoon. A little girl gets lost, and of course he finds her. They get together. All the animals that were mocking him are hiding. Lesson learned there.
Yes.
It's about character. And the story's just getting started, but the fireflies come and light the trail, and it's a wonderful, wonderful tale. And he gets her back to her grandfather, who they got separated in the forest. So Augie's one of my very, very favorite.
So where can people get your books? How much
They
do they
get
cost?
it on at my website.
Okay.
woodsintheround.com.
There it is now on the screen.
Right, and or they can come to the Palafox Market in Pensacola, where you and I met, and other book signings, Sundog Books on 30A. I sign there once, a couple times a month.
And that's a bookstore in Pensacola? What's it called?
No, Sundogs is in Seaside, Florida.
Okay.
Seaside,
Florida.
But
okay.
it's a very upscale bookstore, and I sign there pretty regularly. Oh, but nice. If you order online, I will obviously sign the books for whoever it is. They give you the selection of who you want to sign them to. All
right. So you have 4 books. So fan them out for us, so we can see the 4 books you've got so far.
We talked about Augie, Strange Journey of Byron and Cyrus.
Wait, he's going too fast.
Oops,
going to get up.
Sorry.
There you go. Now we got that. Next one.
And then the next one is my Christmas book, The 3 Miracles, A Star for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then Polly, the Persnickety Pachyderm, my Picky Eater book, which is also about the alphabet. It's a wonderful, wonderful way to teach the alphabet.
Isn't that marvelous?
Yep.
All right. Well, gosh, Sandy, I'm so glad you come tell us all about your books. And,
you bet.
And so enjoyed it. Thank you for coming on our show.
Thank you, Doctor. Appreciate it.
It was wonderful. So, get Sandy's books. You can get his books and any of our authors' books or my books at my website right there, Doctor's Dreams. Actually, I'm not sure I can get Sandy's books, so don't agree with that. But most of our authors who are on Amazon, such like that, get the books there. So thank you for joining us. Another opportunity to meet the authors from the region. And we hope you'll join us again next show, where we'll have more authors to talk about and enjoy the literature of the South. See you next time.